LeetCode problem which is power of 3, which is of easy level. And let's try to understand the problem. Given an integer n, return true if it is a power of 3, otherwise return false. So basically an integer n, and they are giving the explanation that what is a power of 3. So an integer n is a power of 3 if there exists an integer x such that n is equal to 3 to the power x, right? So just for explanation I have written these comments. So let's say for example 27, we can express 27 as 3 into 3 into 3, and let's take an example of 8. So it is a power of 3. So but 18, let's take the example of 18, which is 9 into 2, which can again be factored into 3 into 3 into 2. Okay, so this is not a power of 3, because another factor comes in its prime factors, another number comes which is other than 3. So that's why it is not power of 3. And if you see the constraints, it is lying from minus 2 to the power 31 to 2 to the power 31 minus 1. Okay, so basically for Java it is an integer range, mean value and max value. But you know that the minimum value of x can be 0, like 3 to the power 0 is 1. So x can be 0. So the minimum value of n can be 1. So first the base condition we can write as, if n is less than equal to 0, just return false. Okay, now let's try to think how to solve this problem. Okay, so if you try to observe this all these factors, so if you continue dividing by 3, then in the end you will get 1, right? If it is a factor of 3. Otherwise otherwise you will never get 1. You will get some other number, if it some other number other than 1. Okay, so how can we realize this? So if so let's try to figure out. So if we try to give a modulo operation on this, so basically what we need to do, we need to find out when this 2 comes, we need to exit the loop. Otherwise in the end we should get equal to 1, right? And how can we do that? So so if you think that if you think try to think, then modulo operator comes to our rescue. So let's see how that helps us. So let's write a helper method, boolean f, which takes a number n. Okay, so it's like while n modulo 3 equal to 0. So basically what I'm trying to say, first of all we are checking whether this number modulo 3 is equal to 0 or not, whether it is a multiple of 3 or not. If it is not a multiple of 3, we will just directly return false. Okay, if it is a multiple of 3, then we have to keep dividing until we get a 1, right? So it's like then n slash equal to 3, right? N is equal to n by 3, right? And when we have to just return false, and at the end this n should be equal to 1. So basically what we can write this condition as, n is equal to 1. So what does it mean? So if n is equal to 1, return true, otherwise return false. Okay, so that's the simple implementation of this. Let's try to run this code. Oh sorry, I have not called this. So return f passing n. You can see I have also submitted earlier as well. So you can see here, and let's try to solve with one another approach. Okay, so that will be with the help of logarithm. So we know that we know this equation, right? N is equal to, for the sake of simplicity, for the sake of saving our time, I have written these things beforehand. So we can write this equation n is equal to 3 to the power x. So if we take the log, it becomes log of n is equal to x into log of 3. Now you should know that this log is independent of any base. Okay, so if we try to find out n log of n by log 3, right, now still they are independent of base, so we can give any base, right? So just we give base 3, so log of 3 to the base 3 becomes 1, and this becomes log of 3 to n. This this is how x can be found. Okay, but again this log this log will give double will return double values, right? So we need some, so there will be issue of precision, so we will not go into that direction. Okay, so we will move into another direction, like let's this 2 to the power 31, right? What is the maximum value uh, it is taking? That is 2 to the power 31, and 2 to the power 31 is this, right? And 2 to the power 31 minus 1. Okay, so we want to calculate what is the maximum value of x, means what is the maximum value of power of 3 which can lie within 2 to the power 31, right? So we can find this x with the help of log of 3, right? And if you go to log calculator, see I have already calculated for this, and it basically comes out 19.55. What it basically means, that if you give 3 to the power 19.55, it is going to be this value, right? So basically it means if it comes in terms of integer, it is 3 to the power 19, which is inside the our integer range. Okay, so let's try to write this logarithm function, boolean f1, which takes an integer n. No, look, what we can do, now just try to think. See, this 3 is a prime number, so 3 is a prime number, and this is equal to 3 to the power 19. Okay, 3 to the power 19 means this is contained, this is a factor, means 3 to the power 19 means 3 into 3 into 3 19 times, right? So basically 3 to the power 0, 3 to the power 1, and 3 to the power 2, all these values are factors of this number 3 to the power 19. Okay, and if we want to calculate 3 to the power 19, we can try to calculate that as well. 3 to the power 19 is equal to 116. So max value is this one, and rest other values are factors of this. So what we can write here, right? If, although we have tested this, if n is greater than greater, it should be. So basically what we can write this, we can take directly this we can directly take this value. Where is copy? Okay, if this modulo n is equal to 0, return true, otherwise return false. Okay, let's try this. Okay, okay, you can see that this is also, so this way we can also solve this problem. So that's all for today's problem. Yeah, thanks a lot. Bye.